accomplished and what we hope to do in the near future. So I'll start with the initiative because 3 years ago my nephew fell out of whitewater rafting. He was knocked out of the boat. He was knocked unconscious. And there were 2 people on the whitewater rafting trip that knew CPR, and for all intents and purposes, saved his life. He has gone on to college, and after my husband and I heard about this incident, we both went out and got certified in CPR because we realized the value of it. And then after that happened, Christmas, a very dear friend of mine was at a Christmas party. There were 20 people attending. One of the women at the party had a heart attack and passed before first responders got there because no one of those 20 people knew CPR. And it was a holiday weekend by the time that the EMS got there to the task. So hearing that, I realized that it was a very valuable and important skill for people to learn. So I started researching it, and I found that there was an initiative both in the state of New York and around the country to do hands-only CPR training throughout the states. Washington and Seattle took the lead. 10 years ago, when they started their initiative of bringing CPR training into every avenue that they could, they had a 17% survival rate in human Parkinson's. 10 years now, after instituting, requiring CPR training for all college graduates, requiring people who met in groups to all have CPR hands-only training, they have elevated the survival rate to 69%, which is exponential. So we know through these statistics how incredibly valuable the program is. So I've been working with about 10 other organizations to approach state legislators to institute hands-only requirements in as many places as we can. So we're working on an initiative with home health care attendants so that they're required, they currently are not, that everyone that works at a school be required to have hands-only training, and that anyone that works with groups of people have hands-only training. And so what I'm happy to say is since I started this initiative, to date, we've had 200 people on Roosevelt Island trained in hands-only CPR. We are going to have a place once a month where you can go, so every week of the month there will be a place where you can go to get hands-only training on Roosevelt Island. We are partnering with as many groups as we can on Roosevelt Island. And what I'd like to do going forward is offer the training to all the members of the Common Council. And so what we do is we've been using the American Heart Association's training program, and they have been generously donating these training kits to Roosevelt Island because of the volume of volunteering that I have been doing for them. And so we currently have about 20 kits in different places on Roosevelt Island that we are using to do this hands-on-only training. So I would like to ask any of you who knows either a group or their company or anyone that they would like us to come in and do the training for. We would love to do that. And again, I would like to, in the future, schedule some time to do the hands-on-only training here for the council. Anybody have any questions?
Do you offer the CPR training at Senior Citizen on Wednesday? Is that your group?
Thank you. The first Wednesday of every month at 10:45, we do the hands-on-only training at the Senior Center, and that's during the day session. The fourth Sunday of every month, we do it here at the Good Shepherd. The child school has offered. That I don't have yet. So there's a couple things that are to be determined. So right now I have the places, but we're trying to lock in the time. the third week of every month, there'll be a training at the child's school in the evening. And then the second week of every month, there'll be a training on the 12th floor in the senior center. The senior center. So the 12th floor. I'm not, these are places where they've agreed to allow us to come in and do the training, but we have to lock in the time.
Why don't we do this? As I know there are probably a lot of questions that I do want to get to the agenda. Lynn, do you have an email address that if people want to ask you specific questions, you can respond to?
Lynn Strong at hotmail.com.
Okay, strongly encourage it. It's a great program, and